Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to the channel and welcome to a very well lit Invention guild. Now, this is going to be a video which I have been meaning to do for a little while, and my previous video now is a little bit outdated compared where it used to be. So what we're going to be doing today is talking through machines. Now, machines were introduced as part of the Invention skill, and I still think they're one of those items which are heavily underrated. Now, what machines can do is actually act out in sort of process part of your materials and make you an awful lot of AFK XP. Now, in terms of the machines available to you, you have the auto disassembler, which will disassemble your components and provide a bag of components once it's finished with that. You have the alchemizer, which is available in low alch at level 72 and then high alch it's 108 invention. And you also have the partial potion producer and the higher partial potion producer, the DX at 114. You have the automatic high tanner as well as the plank make, which again require higher levels for their upgraded versions. 111 for the high tanner and 117 for the plank maker. So you have these things which are probably why like a couple of methods of crash. So the high tanner especially is printing with like the amount of profit you can get tanning hides. You also have the plank maker as well, which is very good for the higher tier plank making things as well. But also the partial potion producer is what we're going to focus on first, and it's incredible GP. Now, these items are so easy to get, and running your machines, providing you've got the levels to do it, and also the generator. So the generator is going to provide the energy for you to run your machine. So this is currently my setup of machines. And machines are basically a balance of what you can get for your sort of energy. You want to get it in a way where you're getting the most value out of your energy with your machines you have available. Now, I'm not going to say that mine are the absolute best because I actually don't think they are. But for what I use on a day-to-day basis, they are what's worked best for me. Now, I'm going to talk through why I have mine and why I use it in this way. And you can tailor your machines on what you want the most. Now, if you're someone who's looking for GP, you could have an incredible amount of sort of partial potion producers. You could have high tanners. You could have plank makers. All of those make considerable GP. Now, the ones I have at the minute, I have two high alchers, a partial potion producer, the lesser version, and also an auto disassembler. Now, I've gone for the auto disassembler because I needed a lot of magic components. I can't remember why, but basically I didn't want to do it. So I did the auto disassembler just for that reason. I have two alchemy machines because I think it's a very good way to make some passive GP. And for me, I don't know about you guys, I need a way to hide GP from myself. Because if it's there, I'll spend it, I'll waste it, and then I wonder like why I've got no bank. Whereas I know that if I was absolutely desperate at the minute, I currently have about 820-ish mil between these two machines because I just leave the GP till it hits a certain stack. It is quite nice to see that it's out to billion like GP worth of coins. And also the partial potion producer, I like to just throw some of the herbs I've like farmed into here just so it can just sit and make some potions. Now, with how you can balance your energy out, there are two more machines here you could build. You could have up to a total of 6 machines, but because I've got some of the high tier stuff, they require more energy and I don't have enough energy to go around. Now, one of the great things about the wiki, again, we always are big on the wiki on this channel, it has a great sort of breakdown of what methods are really good. So what we're going to do now is, because I've sort of like talked through like machines and stuff, again, if you want to see what levels you need for the machines, you do have a drop down in the Invention skill. The base ones are still very good, but the upgraded versions are where they are very good. Now you can still make money with the base versions, and it's still something I would recommend doing, even if you're sort of stuck between levels. I still think it's worthwhile sort of like getting things moving and working while you're not doing anything. So when you're logged off, your machines are still producing. So even if you're not playing for a couple of weeks, you're still alching, you're still doing it until you run out of items. You do need to log in. I've found the sweet spot sort of every week for the alchers, and just to fill up, just to top up with everything as well, just to make sure that you are able to do that. But anyway, let's go and hop over to the wiki and then we can go and have a quick look. Okay, so this is the potion producer one. And basically what the wiki does is talk through the prices and the profits and stuff like this. So the one I focus on the most is the weekly profit. So actually turning clean qualms into qualm potion unfinished is 9.2 mil profit per hour. But not only that, it gives you all the other options. Toadfax, Spiritweed, Cadentine, Avinto, all incredible ways to make profit as well. Now, one thing I would say is, especially with things like Cadentine and Avinto, the herb is an awful lot cheaper. So for very limited investment costs, You can be making this kind of profit by just topping your machines up and keeping them topped up during the week. All you need to do, log in, top them up, and that's going to bring you 8 mil profit. Now, if you had a couple of these machines running at once, again, this is working off the higher tier of the machine, which is going to require 114 Invention. But if you sort of balanced it out between a couple of the smaller machines, I think you would work out a decent amount of profit as well. But if you had something like 2 of these machines going, that's 18 mil profit just from 2 potion producing machines. And over a period of a bond, that's 36 mil, which again is not the price of a full bond, but when it's tied in with other things like doing your ultra compost every day, a couple of little dailies, you can cover the cost of your bond with just very minimal work, which even though like bond prices are high, the sort of state of Runescape and how Jagex are managing things at the minute is not great. I always aim on this channel to show you guys how you can sort of pay for your membership through in-game play, but I don't want you guys grinding for hours and hours. I want you guys to find easy ways to make some money, to pay for membership, or even better, to stack the GP up, invest in skills, and then make GP even easier with other methods. But as you can see, there's quite a lot which makes 6 mil plus. So like Bloodweed, Harlander, for whatever reason. No idea why Harlander makes that much. Snapdragon, Fellstalk, again, there's plenty here with very little investment cost, which is also going to make you pretty decent money. Now, for whatever reason, this is worked off Grimy Ranars, and Grimy Ranars are one of the worst potions. So you can definitely look at some other ones as well, sort of like see which one's going to make the most GP. But at the minute, pulling Qualms, which I would go for that as well. But the partial potion producer isn't your only alternative. And again, the recurring section on the wiki money making guides is very, very good because it's things you can continuously do all the time. Like other things are buying the GE limits of the grimy herbs and using things like your herbal cape to do that. It's also got the ultra compost, which again we mentioned earlier on, that's 6 mil per hour there. The auto disassembler, again, don't underestimate this. Like this is something which can make divine charges. And because maple logs are so cheap, you can make profit with this as well. I was kind of aiming this more for a double XP live week, but don't underestimate the auto disassembler because things like basic parts are absolute bank to make divine charges. And don't forget, I know I've said it a couple of times, these machines work while you're not logged in. And that's the most important thing. While you're not logged in, they're making profit for you. You don't have to be playing while this is making money for you. So the alchemy is what we talked about, and what is currently alching or what it recommends is the Onyx Bolts E. This is something I do, and what I actually do is make my own Onyx Bolts. So not only am I going to be making a profit from alching the bolts, I'll probably take something like 2 hours a week to go and make my own bolts, because then I'll make the money off fletching my own bolts, and that will keep me stocked up for a considerable amount of time. But as you can see, the wiki is very good for having like quite a lot of different items, just to give you different options to go and alch as well. Me personally, I sort of keep to the bolts. The bolts work very, very good. But things like Dragonstone jewelry is good. Any sort of salvage you have as well is very good. And if you need to clear your bank out and you don't want to sort of drop the items or spam on the gun exchange, yes, you're limited to how many you can put into the alchemy at a time, but you can get them cleared by alching them yourself through your machines. But again, for me, I spend 2 to 4 hours per month topping up and making my own bolts. But after that, I throw them in the alchemy and I pretty much forget about them. Now, hides are a funny one. It doesn't really sort of state a price anywhere I can see anyway for the hides. But at the minute, hides are making huge bank. And also the same with the high capacity plank maker as well. I was doing elder planks for a while and I was making a huge amount of money per week. When it was first released, the new planks were bank. They were making so much profit. And in terms of a hide talent and the plank maker, I would just sort of like check margins and check prices and just see what it currently sets at, because they will definitely make you money. You just need to see what kind of margins and profits they are and also sort of work out roughly if it's going to outperform these. But for actually not playing the game and not doing anything, all you need to do is train Invention and get the level. These machines are huge profits and definitely not something you need to ignore. They require very minimal effort to actually get them up and running. All you need to do is have the materials available to actually get the machines built, which are a little bit steep, but by the time you've used scavenging to get to the levels you want to, you'll definitely have the materials available as well. But again, all I really wanted to do was just to give you guys a bit of a rough breakthrough on these machines. Very, very good, and definitely something I try and keep on top of every single week, as part of my sort of like weekly run and stuff I like to do. because it makes me profit. It makes me money where I don't have to pay attention, and because of that, we're all about it as well. But that is going to wrap up the end of this video. And one I'll probably do in like another 6 to 9 months. Again, with machines, there's not a lot to do more than just update you guys on the price. But if you're ever interested on how the prices of machine profits changing, you can always keep an eye on the wiki. The wiki updates, choose prices and stuff. But they're in the recurring tab as well. If you are looking through that tab, there's some very good things to sort of like give you an idea of what can make you daily profits every single day. Even if you're just buying out like certain stores and stuff like that, they can be very, very good. However, that is going to be the end of this video. What I will probably do, because I've just had a little bit of a scroll through the recurring sort of tabs, I might do a little video where we can try and cram through as many of those methods at one time and just talk through what I would really recommend and what I wouldn't recommend in terms of doing daily, because again, dailies make you money. Dailies make you money very quick. And it's those kind of sort of methods which will take 15 to 20 minutes per day total, which can pay off for a bond, which is what I want you guys to be doing. I want you guys to be doing the easy money making methods per day, which is going to make you cash quick rather than you having to grind out for lower ending GP money making methods. Don't get me wrong, a lot of them can depend on skills and levels and stuff. And sometimes with levels, skills and requirements, what you have to do is the lower grindy stuff. But what we're trying to do on the channel is trying to prevent you guys doing that and give you really easy AFK money making methods on a regular, which you can do to capitalize and make as much GP as possible. But without rambling further, I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you do with your machines. What do you do with your machines? What do you throw into them? What do you do? And how much profit do you make roughly per week? And let's get a discussion going down and let's see who can get the most profit per week. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.